And right now, we're about to move into something really, really important. It's one of the major issues that our country is facing, which is what we call the Japa syndrome. We're having mass migration of a lot of talented Nigerians into other countries. And since time immemorial, Nollywood has always been the platform where we can really share these stories, express and tell our true, authentic Nigerian story. And one producer, one individual, of course, with her team and also her collaborators have decided to take it upon themselves to tell the Japa story and what it means, and the implications of the Japa story on the nation. With me, I have the producer of the movie Kannani, Jennifer Mario. I hope I got it right. Kannani?
You sure did. Yay. You got the job. After that introduction, I'm like, okay, yes, let me go home. I'm good.
Okay, so this is a really, really serious issue. Tell me, what inspired that storyline? Did you have a personal experience? What do you have to say about the Japa culture right now?
Okay, yes, thank you for the question and thank you for having me. I'm excited. Well, what inspired the story? So I didn't write the story, but I was definitely, it was part of our idea to get the whole Japa concept together. I have lived in the US for the past 2 decades, so I definitely have a concept of, okay, I come up for Nigeria, I know they live for Nigeria. But more than anything, I didn't go there under the circumstances that we would see in the film, which is more so a human trafficking kind of angle. I think it's important for young people, most especially, to know that even though the jackpot trend is, funky and it seems like, hey, everyone should be on top of it because of what's happening in Nigeria, so to speak, I feel like it's important that they are careful, that they're well informed about the decisions they're making to that effect, so that they don't end up like the, main character in the film.
Okay, okay. Also, I've noticed, like I told you earlier when you walked into the studio, the film looks so good,
Oh, thank you.
And I've also noticed that, you focused on really casting actors that are extremely talented in the craft. And there's been a big conversation around casting in movies these days, that producers tend to opt for actors with more numbers as they feel that those actors are going to sell the film, as opposed to casting actors that are really into the craft,
the creativity, yeah,
the creativity, and with the cast members that you have, it seemed like you focused less on actors that had numbers. Not like those actors don't have numbers,
correct,
but like you didn't focus on the virality of certain actors, but you wanted people that can deliver, the character Bible.
Yes, that's yes, you're absolutely correct. For us, it was very important to tell the story as opposed to just push numbers. Of course, I'm a filmmaker. This is a business. Of course, I want to make money from all of this stuff. However, I feel like it would be a disservice to my craft to just focus on, the popularity. After all, the people who are popular should be them first act one before them blow, right? For us, in fact, we noticed later on that we were getting a huge reception from the Esan, Edo, Bini community. When we went into filming, we didn't really think to ourselves, oh, let's do Esan or Bini. We just wanted the story to be authentic. And that's what it became. It just so happened. So shout out to everybody in Nigeria and the Edo people. I'm not Edo, neither is my partner, who is the director, Tola Olatunji. Isoko, he's Yoruba, but it just kind of made sense. And for us, the message was more important than the genge, even though we want some genge, if you know what I mean.
I totally understand. And very recently, we've seen that just like music, the Nollywood industry has also become one of Nigeria's major exports. And we did notice that you traveled a bit around the world before you set a date for the cinema release. Why?
Oh my God, you have to go there. In fact, we just had a major screening of the film last night in Miami. We had US Congress people and the commissioner for the city of Miramar all present, all working with us. I think it's more so because of the message in the film. And I don't want to give too much away. We did travel, we'll still be traveling. And for us, we wanted to do things a little bit differently. It's not just, hey, there's a film, let's go out. We want to bring, how do I say this? Okay, so we know that Nollywood, like you said, it's kind of growing and it's, we're doing a lot of big things now in Nollywood. But when my partner and I came here to shoot Kannani, for us, we wanted to learn a little bit of how filming is done in Nigeria. but we're also proud to be able to bring like our, the DOP and the lighting guy and our editor, they're all from the US. They're our team in the US. And, even when some of the people who worked on the set, like Mecca, Bayo, whoever, and other people, they're like, oh my God, we learned so much from, your American crew. And, nobody say we know they try for here, but we saw some other things that we are not used to. So for us, it's kind of like, yeah, like, we want to do more collaborations like that. We don't have all the answers, but we definitely saw when we were working that there's some areas that we can still grow. And I know funding is an issue, manpower, and just technicalities are other things that need to be considered. But we're happy that at least with this film, filmmakers can be like, okay, yes, these people, then they try. Maybe we can collaborate with them in the future.
Right. I think it's really important that we collaborate as much as we can because it looks like half the time the industries, it's more competition as opposed to collaboration. And I like the fact that you were able to bring people from outside of the country, not necessarily because our people aren't talented, but it's just what we call knowledge transfer.
Very good.
Just the same way some of our doctors and some of our very learned people
have
just leave the country and then they are now investing their knowledge and their skills on another country. So please, I think I would encourage you to bring more people to invest their knowledge in this country, and I think it's really phenomenal.
Amen. Do you wanna act sometime?
I am an actor.
Oh, my apologies.
No.
So,
it's fine.
Listen.
I do a lot of things, so.
Okay, yes, I like it.
It's okay when people think, I'm just a TV presenter. It's like Jamie Foxx, he's a comedian, actor.
It's 100 things.
But this is not about me.
Okay,
it's about Kannani.
Yes, gotcha.
It's about Kannani.
Yes.
Also, I think we need to, there's a conversation that is going around, and it's not just in Nollywood. Take, for example, I'm just going to give an example with the recently concluded Headies that happened in, I think, Atlanta. And a lot of Nigerians were saying, why would you take a Nigerian music award show abroad as opposed to doing it in Nigeria? And from the Headies team, they are just trying to bring the rest of the world to Nigeria in close proximity. How important is it for us to make our presence more felt in in other parts of the world physically and not just on streaming platforms? Because if we release it in Nigeria, obviously if it's a global release, other countries will watch it. But how important is premieres, screenings
and things like that
in other countries? How important is it?
That's a very interesting question, because I used to be of the opinion that, oh wow, we hustling so hard to be known or to be acknowledged by the abroad people. But to be honest, just like in the film line of things, Nollywood is growing, but Hollywood is Hollywood. Let's be real. We're not there yet. So it's important that whenever Headies or whatever you're talking about, when they go abroad or when we have those partnerships, I don't think it's a bad thing, but as long as we are true to what the mission is. I usually talk about motivations a lot. What's motivating your move? What's motivating while you're doing it? But if you're waiting solely for acknowledgement or credibility, or if you feel so abroad people never join the thing, then you never blow, then you'll probably be sad because you probably never be able to mimic them 100%.
Right.
That's my take.
Okay, let's talk about distribution now. That has been one of the major issues we've had in the industry. So Nollywood has been evolving. Initially,
You're definitely grilling me. Oh my God.
So we used to have the marketers. We call them the Alaba marketers, right? So the VCD era, and then we've moved on to that the satellite era, and now we're in the streaming era. So we've got Netflix, got Prime, we've got YouTube, most producers are still complaining that they cannot break even. And the reason why they are not bringing the quality of films that Nollywood deserves is because their resources are limited. And eventually, by the time they push in money into it, they don't recover as much. So
what is your question?
My question is, how do you think we can sort of break even when we invest heavily into certain projects? Because it's hard.
Yes. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know if I should give you the political response or the true response. Well, I think if the story is good, when I mean good, don't just, like you said, combine a bunch of celebrities and throw them in a film. I think it's embarrassing. I'm just being real. I think that if the story is really good and is casted well, and if you're able to maybe you have an opportunity to work with people like us who can presents the film to the abroad people that maybe have dollars, that when they change it, it will. That is so bad.
No. It's good.
You know, I'm just saying, if the story is really good and you collaborate internationally with people who have love and, you know, passion for the craft, I think that there's a chance to actually make the kind of films we want to make in Nigeria. I genuinely believe that, because that's what we did with Kannani. I can't believe how far we went with it. Now, in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done that.
What was the biggest thing you did that you can't believe?
The biggest thing?
Or maybe one of the biggest
One of the big
challenges.
ones, okay, of course, it cost us quite a lot to bring the crew from the US. I mean, of course, the Nigerian crew now, they helped. They were a part of the project, but, you know, flying about 4 or 5 people from the US, their insurance and all those, their all that stuff, of course, that one day one side. Then because it was happening during COVID, we filmed in 2020. We were doing literally COVID tests every 42 hours, every 2 days on set for everybody, and the crew was in the hundreds.
Wow.
So yeah, the thing, it dealt with us.
All right. The Lord is a strength.
Amen.
And I pray He does great numbers. Do you think we have a shot at the Oscars this time around?
You see, that's the thing about interviews. You don't know the one that you say that will jabber you, that will not jabber you. You don't know, you're trying to keep it safe, but I would definitely say yes. If we're going off of the strength of the film, the level of creativity and the professionalism and all that was put into it, I dare say.
All right. So, when is the premiere? When are we going to enjoy it in the cinemas?
Premiere, are you coming?
Of course.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
I'm number 1 on the guest
Oh
list.
my God,
Daniels.
I love it. Premiere September 14th, which is Thursday, and in cinemas from the 15th, which is Friday, the day after.
All right, thank you so very much.
You're
And guys,
so welcome.
please, let's all watch Kannani. It's been
Don't just stand there teasing me. Now it's time to show